Okay, hello everybody. We are live, I think. I hope you guys can hear me okay and that it's all clear. I can't see anything in the chat box yet, so if you have written something, hello. I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah, it's a beautiful day here in England, really sunny, and it's crazy because the temperature has gone up massively since yesterday. It's 22 degrees in London, and yeah, it's boiling. I hope you guys have had a good start to the week. I can't, as I said just now, I can't actually see anything in the chat box, so I'm not sure if you are chatting to me or not. So I'm just going to double check that. Just give me a second. If it seems a bit strange that I'm not answering you, I'm sorry. But for some reason I can't see what you're writing, if you are writing something, which you normally do, so it's a bit strange. Having a couple of technical difficulties today. So let me just have a quick search and see whether this is working or not. Okay. Just going to mute this. If you hear my voice twice, it's because I'm... Oh, there you go. Okay, I can see you guys are saying hello. Oh, that's really weird. It's not showing on mine. Okay, well, I'm going to have to look at both screens. Okay, so hello to Stacey. Hi, Mohammed. And Hermione. Oh, you must be a Harry Potter fan. And hello to our regulars as well. We have Sun Young. Hello. It has been 2 weeks. Yeah. Stacey said it's my first time to attend this class. Okay. Well, welcome. I'm glad you've managed to make it this time. I hope you enjoy it. Over the Moon says, hello, Stephanie, congrats on your new house. I hope you like it. Oh, thank you very much. That's really sweet. It's great, actually. Yeah, I'm loving it. For those of you who don't know, I moved house last week, which is why we didn't have a live stream last Tuesday. We normally do on every Tuesday, but last week was my move day, so I had a lot to do, and I've been spending my time unboxing and moving in slowly. Everything's gone really well so far, so I'm very happy about it, and I love my new house. So yeah, it's been great. Thank you for your wishes. I'm glad you guys can hear me okay. That's a relief. I thought I was going to have to get some technical help. Hello to Hohen as well. I haven't seen you in a long time. Welcome back. We've got some new names here I don't recognize as well. SHHW, welcome. We also have, who else is new? Maybe Jimmy as well. I think you're new. And Toodle92, hello to you as well. Thank you for joining. We also have somebody with, I think that's a Russian name, or I think you were here before, but I don't remember your English name. Sorry about that, but welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me. So I hope you guys have had a good start to the week. As I was saying, the weather here has suddenly changed in the UK. It's now really sunny and warm. I'm still wearing my winter clothes because the room that I'm in my new house is really cold, so I'm not actually feeling the warmth. But I did go into the garden just before this live stream, and it was boiling. It's t-shirt weather, which is amazing for Brits. Like, you know, we love the sun here in the UK. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about saying no to things, or saying that you don't like something, which is quite a useful one, I think, because sometimes you don't want to be too direct when someone offers you something or talks about something, and you want to say that you don't really like it. So I've picked out some really useful everyday phrases that you can use to show that you don't like that thing. Okay, so as usual, I'm going to be sharing my screen with you, and we're going to be doing a mini quiz at the end as well. So stay tuned for that. And of course, if you have any questions or any comments, please let me know in the chat. I'm going to be checking it as much as I can to see what you guys think about this. And also, I'd like you to give me some examples as well along the way. So hello to Jiwoo. Thank you for joining us again. SH says SH is enough. Okay, all right, I'll go with SH then. Yeah. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to share my screen with you. Here we go. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, I'm always a bit nervous about that because I'm not a big technology fan, but this is pretty cool, I think. So hopefully you can see my presentation that I've made for you guys today. Hello, young Dan. Nice to see you here. All right, so this is the presentation I prepared for you. We're going to look at 8 polite ways to say you don't like something. So let's start with number 1 on our list. And here it is. So, if somebody, offers you something, or if somebody tells you that they like something, but you want to say that you don't like it very much, but you don't want it to be rude, and also it's quite a nice way of saying it. Instead of saying, I don't like that, you can say this. You can say, oh, it's not really my kind of thing. All right, so this is a really good phrase. It's very common in everyday speech. Okay. So if somebody says to you, for example, do you want to, I don't know, do you want to go skiing next winter? And you say, oh, it's not really my kind of thing. I prefer beach holidays, for example, something like that. Now, the reason I put this on the list is because I've noticed a lot of my students say it's not my type. Now, this is a very good expression, but we don't use it for things. That's why I wanted to mention this. When we say not my type, we normally refer to people. So you could say, for example, Brad Pitt. He's not my type. I prefer men with dark hair, for example. Okay, so we use it normally for people who we are not attracted to, basically. Okay, obviously, if you say he is my type, then of course you are attracted to him. Okay, so we use this for people and only for like kind of attraction. Okay, if you're talking about an activity like I don't know, going skiing or going to the gym or, I don't know, dancing or whatever. Or if you're talking about a film or anything really, just not a person, you can say it's not really my kind of thing. Okay? Don't say it's not my type. That sounds weird. Okay? Sun Young has asked me a question. She says, it's not my kind. Can I shorten it? No, it sounds a bit weird. So you should just say it like this. It's not my kind of thing. You can remove the word really if you want. Really kind of makes it sound less strong. So it kind of softens the directness of the phrase. Okay. But yeah, I wouldn't shorten it. So always say it's not my kind of thing. Okay. We've got a couple of comments and questions. So Daniel, welcome back. Daniel says, this is not my cup of tea. Yeah, you can say it's not my cup of tea as well. Yeah. However, I would say that that's probably more of an old-fashioned expression. So some people might use it, but I wouldn't say it's really very modern. Okay, so instead we would say this as a more modern version. Okay. Over the Moon says, how about it's not my thing really? You could say that, yeah, but by adding really, again, you're kind of softening that. Okay. Jimmy has asked a question. It's not my favorite. How about it? You could say that. You could say it's not my favorite. Depends how you use it, though. Yeah. So if someone says, do you like dark chocolate? You could say, well, it's not my favorite. I prefer milk chocolate. So when you have like a selection of different kinds or different types, you could say it's not my favorite. Yeah. But if someone says to you, do you like skiing, for example, it would be, maybe I wouldn't say it's not my favorite. Maybe you could say it's not my favorite kind of sport. I prefer running, for example, maybe something like that. Daniel says, I'm an old version. There you go. So I have a couple of examples, or one example here actually. Let's have a look at the one that I've prepared. Okay, so imagine your friend says to you this. Have you watched the latest Harry Potter film? You could say, nah, it's not really my kind of thing. I prefer horror films. Okay, so we often kind of say that we don't like something and then we say what we do like. So it's not really my kind of thing. I prefer blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's usually how we would use this. I'm sure a lot of our Britcent viewers, Britcent students don't agree with this because I know a lot of you like Harry Potter. But to be honest, this is true for me. It's not my kind of thing, Harry Potter. However, I don't prefer horror films. I mean, I like horror films, but personally, I prefer dramas or thrillers, something like that. What about you guys? Could you make an example for me in the chat? Could you make an example? Tell me something that's not really your kind of thing. Okay, so you can use a noun. So you could say, I don't know, like fast food is not really my kind of thing. Or you could use an ing verb. Running isn't really my kind of thing. Okay, give me an example. Have you got any ideas, guys? Put it in the chat if you have an idea. Sanyang says, funny, there's Hermione in the chat. Yeah, exactly. It seems like I knew you were going to be here, Hermione. No offense, of course. All right, so I'm waiting for examples. Has anyone got an example of something that's not your kind of thing? In the meantime, I will have some coffee. Much needed. So Jimmy says, have you ever tried durian? You're talking about the durian fruit, aren't you, Jimmy? You know what? I've never tried it, but I would love to try it one day because I've heard that it's quite smelly. So it has a bad smell apparently, but the taste is very sweet and very good. So this kind of, yeah, that's quite interesting for me. So I would love to try it. When I was in Thailand, I remember seeing signs around, like in taxis and in lifts and things, saying, no durian, no durian. So I was wondering why. And then I learnt that it's, really smelly, apparently. Yeah. So yeah, what about you, Jimmy? Is durian your kind of thing? Sanyang says, oh no, durian isn't really my kind of thing. Very good, well done. Youngdan says, spicy food is not really my kind of thing. It makes me sick. Ooh, that's a shame. I like a bit of spice. Not too spicy though. But yeah, that's a very good example. Well done. Toodle says, healthy juice. It's not really my kind of thing. Yeah, same. But what you could do in your sentence is just say, healthy juice isn't my kind of thing. So you don't need to use it because you've already got the word healthy juice, you see. Over the Moon says, fancy a cup of milk tea? Sorry, it's not really my kind of thing. Yeah, well done. Well done. The same for you, Moon. Good example, hiking, but you don't need to use it because you're already using the word hiking. So you could say hiking is not really my kind of thing. Beatrice says, Mexican food is not really my kind of thing. I prefer Italian food. Yeah, very good. Perfect example. Well done. Okay, guys, you seem to have got it. So let's move on to our second one. So number 2, ta-da, is this one. So you could use this instead. So you could say, I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad about that. So you can use a noun. Or you could use an ing verb instead. So I'm not mad about cooking, for example. Or instead of mad, you could use the word crazy. I'm not crazy about it. So remember, if you say that you're mad or crazy about something, it means that you love it. So if you say, I'm not crazy about it, it shows that you don't really love it that much. Okay. So I've written some examples for you here. Tell me if you can relate to the first one. I can. So shopping, she's not crazy about it. She prefers buying things online. Okay, so in this case, you can see the it at the end. I've underlined it because it's referring back to the word shopping. Okay, so you can use a noun, or we have this other example. I'm not mad about that color. So in this case, the object of the sentence is the color. I'm not mad about that color. How about a darker shade instead? So imagine you're trying to choose wall, like paint for your walls, like I am right now with my new house. And somebody shows you a color and you say, I'm not mad about that color. How about a darker color instead, for example? Okay. Can you think of any examples for yourselves, guys? Can you think of something with I'm not mad about, I'm not crazy about something? Remember, you can use the ing verb as well. So you could say, I'm not crazy about shopping. Or I'm not mad about, I don't know, what could I not be mad about? I'm not mad about watching Netflix. I prefer blah, 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 something like that. So Jimmy says, I'm crazy about your podcast. Good, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, check it out if you haven't, guys. There's some good podcasts on our Britcent channel for those of you who want to practice your listening. Okay, can anyone give us more examples, things that you're not crazy about? Sun Young has asked a question, what about this? I'm not dying to choose it. No, I wouldn't say that. It sounds a bit weird. No, I wouldn't use that expression. Over the Moon, I'm not mad about doing nothing in my off day. Okay, yeah. Doing nothing on my day off is normally how you would say that. Okay, so remember we use on for days, always. And we normally say, instead of my off day, we say my day off. But otherwise it would be fine. Beatrice says, I'm not mad about going to amusement parks. Very good. Good example, Beatrice. Well done. Toodle says, I'm not crazy about doing dishes. Neither am I. Yes, that's a very good example. Yeah. Young Dan, I'm not crazy about working out. Yeah, lovely, lovely. Yeah. Okay, well done. I'm not crazy about social networks. I prefer chatting in real life. Brilliant. Yeah, well done, guys. You got it. That's perfect. Okay, let's move on then, shall we? Let's go to our number 3. So remember, we have 8 of these today, so we're nearly approaching the middle of our list. And at the end of this, I hope to do a mini quiz with you as well. So number 3 is, drum roll please. Here we go. I'm not keen on. So you could say, I'm not keen on that, I'm not keen on it, I'm not keen on doing something. Now notice that I've used the word to in brackets over here. That's because it's only optional, all right? Similar to the previous example that I gave you, I think it was the first one, it's not really my kind of thing, so really is optional. But as I said before, it kind of softens the message that you have there, okay? So it's the same here. If you include the word to, it makes it less direct and it kind of softens what you're saying. So I'm not keen on, and I'm not too keen on that. Let's have a look at some examples. I'm glad you love mini quizzes. Yay! Brilliant. Okay, so let's have a look. We've got two examples here. So our first one, I'm not too keen on fast food. Can we have something healthier for dinner instead? Or he's not keen on cleaning, so he's hired a cleaner to come round once a week. So let me know if these examples are clear to you, if they make sense. If not, please ask away. Ask me in the chat. But if you have any examples of your own with keen on, you can add them to the chat and I'll have a look at them. So we already have one from Over the Moon who says, I'm not keen on rainy day. Very good. You just need to add an S, rainy days, because you're talking about the days in general, right? So you need a plural there. Sun Young says, I'm keen on drinking green tea latte. Yes, yeah, that's great. Again, lattes, plural. You can put it in the plural because you're talking about them in general. Yeah. But I want you to tell me something you're not keen on. Donghan says, I'm not too keen on soju, but any beer will work for me. Very good. Yeah, that's a really good example. I like it. Well done. Nice. Toodaloo says, I'm calling you Toodaloo. I don't know if that's right, but I like it. I'm keen on cooking for my friends, but I'm not a fan of cleaning after. Oh, very good expression, not a fan. So just make sure you put a. I'm not a fan of cleaning after. Yeah, same here, really. Yeah, nobody really likes cleaning afterwards, right? Especially when you're all full after a nice dinner or lunch. Yeah. So again, same thing. Because of the preposition, in this case, on, you can use a noun after that expression, like in the first example, fast food. But if you want to use a verb, you can use the ing form, the gerund form of the verb, like this. Good. Have we got any more examples, guys? Anything that you're not too keen on? You're doing really well. Okay, we have an example from Youngdan saying, I'm not keen on noisy places. Yeah, very good. Yeah, well done. Sanyang says, I'm keen on summer, but I'm not too keen on facing bugs. You don't need to use the word facing in this case. You can just say, I'm not too keen on bugs or the bugs. Because if you say the bugs, it would mean the bugs that come with summer, basically. Yeah. I get you. Jimmy says, I'm not keen on any kinds of medicine, but depending on exercise. The first part of your sentence makes sense about the medicine, but I don't really understand the next part where you said, but depending on exercise. So if you could clarify that, that would be great. I'm not sure what you mean. SH says, I'm not keen on doing social networking. Yeah, very good. That's fine. I would probably say I'm not keen on using social networks. I would say it like that. Because you're not really doing it, you're using the network. So I'm not keen on using social networks. Okay. Or maybe you could say I'm not keen on social networking. If you remove doing, that would make it better. Thanks for your examples, guys. Well done. Brilliant. Toodle says, I'm not keen on having drunken people in the tube after meeting a friend. Oh, yeah, that's quite a common occurrence in London. Is it common in your countries? Very common probably after 6 p.m. You can find drunk people. Don't say drunken people. It's more common to say drunk people. Remove the EN. And we always say on the tube as well. Drunk people on the tube after meeting a friend. Okay, so Jimmy says, I would rather depend on taking... I see what you mean. Okay, on taking... Okay, so you can say, I'm not keen on medicine. I would rather do regular exercise. You could say something like that. That would be better. Toodle says, yes, in Korea, in 10 p.m. At 10 p.m. it should be. Beatrice says, I don't know because I don't use the tube. Well, in Brazil, you've got... Well, I know in Sao Paulo you have a train, right? I'm not sure about other parts. But for those of you who don't know, in London, the underground, we call it the tube. So it's a specific phrase for London Underground. And you're on the tube. So you go on the tube, you are on the tube. And it's, you know, British people, we like to have a beer, we like to have a drink. And often after work, people go for a drink with their colleagues. So after 5 p.m. usually. So when you take, it's funny because when you take the tube in the morning to go to work at 8 a.m. or earlier, it's really quiet and you can't hear anyone speaking to anyone else, no laughing, nothing. Everyone's just quiet, looking at their phones, reading a newspaper, stuff like that. But then when you go home from work later on, maybe 5, 6, 7 or later in the evening, people are much more relaxed, and it's probably because they finish work and they've had a drink, so they're more chatty. It's a completely different atmosphere. So we have some other examples. Gyeonhee, I hope I pronounced that correctly, says, I'm not keen on being around people sometimes on weekends. Okay, yeah, that's a good example. Well done. Yeah. I guess with the coronavirus and stuff, yeah, you wouldn't want to be around crowds of people. You're welcome, SH, no problem. Charles says, I'm not too keen on any kind of diseases. I don't think I would say that because it's not really a preference. I think nobody likes diseases, so it sounds a bit strange to say I'm not keen on diseases, because when you use keen on, it's showing, you know, that it's not to your personal taste, let's say. So it doesn't quite sound right with that. Donghan says, even to one who isn't keen on walking out, cherry blossom on streets these days is a great enticement. I see what you mean. Your sentence is a little bit confusing in the grammar, but you could say, even if you don't like going out, or if you don't like walking outside, these days cherry blossoms are very attractive, maybe, something like that. These days, cherry blossoms on the streets are very attractive. I've heard that at the moment the cherry blossoms are coming out, which is, I'm sure it's beautiful over there in Korea and Japan as well, I assume. I actually saw some cherry blossoms near my house the other day here in England. Beautiful. Not loads of them. I think it's quite different to the ones that you have, but they looked really nice. And I'm sure that they'll be gone quite soon, so it's time to enjoy them if you can. Okay, guys, let's move on, shall we? So thank you for your examples. So we're going on to number 4. So we're halfway through our list of 8. And number 4 is this one. Now, this one might be new for some of you. Perhaps you've never used it before, but it's a good one. So if somebody, you know, offers you something, or again talks about something, but you want to say that you don't really like it much, you can say, I'm more of a kind of person, or I'm more of a person. Let me give you an example. So you basically want to say that you prefer something else. Here we go. So, for example, I'm more of a dog type of girl, but your cat is very cute. So you're not saying that you hate cats, but you're saying that you prefer dogs. Yeah. So you can say I'm more of a dog person, or I'm more of a dog type of person. Instead of the word person, you could also, as I have here, you can also use the word guy or girl if you want. Okay. So you can use person, guy, or girl. Another one, I'm more of a Pizza Hut person. Domino's just isn't as good. So you're showing a preference here in both of them. I suppose that Pizza Hut and Domino's must be available in your countries, are they? In England, yeah. These are the top. I think they'd probably be the top two pizza delivery services. Pizza Hut and Domino's. So yeah, I like them both, to be honest. So we have some examples. Toodle says, I'm more of a coffee person. Yeah, there you go. But I'm not a fan of tea. Very good, nice one. Sun Young says, I'm more of a tea type of person. Yeah, good. But this soft drink is really delicious. Nice. Very good. SH, I'm more of a coffee person. Yeah, exactly. Well done. Very good. Yeah. So as you can see, as I said before, if it's in brackets, it's optional. So you don't have to say kind of or type of. You can just say person or girl or guy. So it's a polite way to say that we prefer something else. Okay? So let me ask you guys a question. I want you to answer me with this expression. I'm more of a person. So if I say to you, let me think of a good example. Do you like hot weather? Let's try that one. Do you like hot weather? Tell me what you would respond to this using I'm more of a person. And you're right, Tudor, we have a lot of coffee lovers. Yeah. Jimmy says, I'm more of a night type of person. Does it make sense? Yeah, we probably wouldn't say night type. I'd probably say I'm more of an evening person. Something like that. Yeah. Over the Moon says, I'm more of a summer person. I get easily cold. Yeah, very good. I would put easily at the end of your sentence, though. I get cold easily. Yeah. Youngden says, I'm more of an indoor person. Is this correct? You are correct. Well done. That's perfect. Beatrice says, I'm more a cold weather because I can use sweaters. Yeah, but make sure you use the word person or girl. I'm more of a cold weather person, or I'm more of a cold weather girl. Yeah, so you just need to include that word. Sun Young says, I'm more of a winter type of person. Yeah, very good. I'm more of a winter person, but I can't hate the warmth of summer. Yeah, I wouldn't say I can't hate the warmth. I'd say I don't hate the warmth of summer. Yeah. Charles, I'm more of a Korean food type of person, but fish and chips is really good for me. Okay, well done, guys. Yeah, very good examples. And some of you responded to my hot weather question really well. So that's amazing. Good job. Very good job. Yeah. Okay, we best move on so that we have time for the mini quiz. So we're going to go on to number 5 of our list. So, number 5. Here we go. Drum roll. And actually, this is a good one that one of you used earlier. Well done on this. So you can say, I'm not a big fan of something. Same as before, you can include the word actually if you want. And again, it softens your message. It makes it less direct. I'm actually not a big fan of that or this or doing this. Okay. So let's have a look at some examples. So if you look at the first one, this is the same as what I just had on the screen. So you can say, I'm actually not a big fan of sci-fi films. I find them a bit too hard to believe. So I'm actually not a big fan of, and then you have the noun. Okay. Sun Young has given me an example. I'm not a big fan of baseball. Yeah, brilliant. Well done. Well done. So when we say fan, obviously it doesn't mean you have to talk about sports or about celebrities. It could be about anything. Okay. I'm not a big fan of coffee, for example. You could say that. Yeah. SH says, I'm not a big fan of watching Netflix movies. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. Well done. Sometimes you can also do it like this. If you look at my second example there, sometimes you can use a noun before the word fan. So in this case, he's not a big Tom Cruise fan. Yeah. So instead of using the word of, you can put the noun before the word fan. I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan. Okay. Or I'm not a big coffee fan. I'm not a big, I don't know, winter fan, for example, something like that. So you can do it both ways. All right, we've got some examples coming in. Hannah says, I'm actually not a big fan of chocolate. It's too sweet to me. Oh, wow. I think you're probably one of the minority over here. But good example. Just make sure you say it's too sweet for me, not to me. But otherwise, it's brilliant. Good example. Well done. Over the Moon says, I'm actually not a big fan of upbeat music. Okay, okay. What kind of music do you prefer? So if somebody says, I'm not a big fan of something, normally, you know, in a conversation, someone might ask, oh, how come? Or what do you prefer? Or what sort of films do you like? That sort of thing. All right. So yeah, this is a really good one to show that you don't like something very much. All right, so we're moving on to the next one. Here we go, number 6. Okay, now this one you might be familiar with, but I thought I'd include it because it's very useful, very common. I'm not into something. You can also say I'm not really into. Okay, so using really softens the message as usual. Okay, so it makes it less direct. Sun Yang says, I'm actually not a big fan of watching live streaming, but I love watching yours. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, and very good example. Yeah. Charles, I'm not a big fan of coffee, but I usually have coffee after lunch every day. Me too, exactly the same. It gives you a boost, yeah. So, I'm not really into, let's have a look at my examples here. Oh, here we go. Here's a conversation. So A says, oh, you really should try that new cafe next to the station. Their coffee is so good. Yeah? I'm not really into coffee though. Have they got other nice stuff too? So this is a good way to use I'm not really into that. Yeah? Jimmy says, I'm actually not a big fan of horror movies. They make me stay at night with fear. Very good. Make sure you just put it in the plural. Horror movies. Yeah. Toodle says, how was your date? I'm not really into him. Yeah, so this one, very good, Toodle. Thank you for bringing that up. This one, if you want to say not into, you can also use it for people. So if you don't really fancy someone, so if you go on a date with them, and you don't really like them in that way, maybe not romantically, you could say, I'm not really into him, or I'm not really into her. So that's a very good use of it. And then you can also use it for things. I'm not into coffee. I'm not into horror movies. I'm not into cars, etc. Okay. So yeah, this is a really good one. Can anyone give me an example using I'm not really into that? Not for people though, try to use it for things. See if you can give me an example. So SH has already given us one and said, I'm not really into following fashion trends. Yeah, that's a good one. Claire says, I'm not really into chicken. People wouldn't believe it since chicken dishes are so popular. I just don't like the texture. Ah, very good. Yeah, I am surprised about that. I don't think I know anyone who doesn't like chicken, but now I do. There you go. I know a lot of people who don't like red meat, like beef and lamb, and they prefer white meat, like chicken. But yeah, there we go. There's everyone in the world, isn't there? Toodle says, I've learned it in the film About Time. Ah, okay, there you go. Very good. Yeah, see, you learn loads of things from those sorts of shows. Over the Moon, I'm not really into his ways of talking. Yeah, good way of. I wouldn't say ways of talking. Just use it in the singular form in this case. Well done. Okay, guys, we're going to move on to number 7. We've got 2 more to go. So let's get cracking. Number 7 is... Now, this one might be new for a lot of you, I think. Okay. And this one is a shout out to Marilyn, who uses this quite a lot. So I thought I'd include this because it's a good one. It's quite casual. Okay. So you can say that something doesn't really do it for you. Okay. So that doesn't really do it for me, meaning it doesn't really satisfy me, or it's not really, you know, as I said, it's not really my kind of thing. So let me give you an example. Do you fancy an ice cream? Ice cream doesn't really do it for me, but I'll have a piece of that cake over there. So as you can see, you're saying what you don't like first. So that thing doesn't really do it for me. So do it kind of means it doesn't work for me, yeah? So it you know, you don't like it basically. Again, really softens the message, yeah. So let me know if you've ever heard this one before, guys, and can you think of an example of something that doesn't really do it for you? Give me an example in the chat. This is totally not true for me personally because I love ice cream, but I also love cake, so they both do it for me. So let's see what examples you guys have. Of course, if you're talking about something plural, you would have to say, don't do it for me. Yeah, like horror movies really don't do it for me. Doesn't is used because obviously we're talking about the singular ice cream, it. Weekly meetings with my boss doesn't really do it for me. Too many things to do. Yeah. I probably wouldn't use it for meetings with your boss. We use it more for like things that you don't like rather than kind of duties or responsibilities or activities. But if you did use it, remember you'd have to say weekly meetings, so plural, with my boss don't really do it for me because it's plural. Sun Young says hair essence product doesn't really do it for me. Again, so that's a very good example. Well done, but put it in the plural, products, and then say don't really. Okay. Even at a casual glance, he doesn't really do it for me. Oh yeah, that's a very good example, Over the Moon. Well done. Beatrice, pork doesn't really do it for me. Yes, that's perfect, Beatrice. Well done. SH says living in the countryside doesn't really do it for me. Yes, that's lovely. Very good. MJ says English doesn't really do it for me at first, but it's growing on me. Wow. Very good. I love your example, and I love the fact that you use it's growing on me. That's a great expression, meaning it's, you know, I'm starting to enjoy it. I'm starting to like it. Yeah. Just make sure that you should say it in the past. So English didn't really do it for me at first because it's past, but it's growing on me now. Yeah. Charles says coriander doesn't really do it for me. Yes, I think there's a lot of people who don't like coriander. Well done, guys. Perfect examples. All right, we're going to move on to our final expression. This one is a little bit more casual, okay? But it kind of also depends on your tone, like how you say it. So here we go. This is the final one. Drum. Okay, I think I'll have to pass. Or I think I'll have to pass on that. Now, this one is a little bit different to the other ones because we use this mainly when you want to say no to an invitation or to a suggestion. So if somebody asks you to do something with them, like invites you, but you don't want to go or you can't go for whatever reason, you can say, I think I'll have to pass, or I think I'll pass. So have to, again, I could have put this in brackets. You can say I'll pass as well. But by saying I think I'll have to pass, it kind of sounds like you can't do it. So it's less rude. Let me give you an example. So somebody says, let's say your colleague at work or a friend of yours says, do you want to join us for a drink at the pub? And you say, oh, I think I'll have to pass. I've still got so much work to do, but I'll be there next time. So I think I'll have to pass, meaning I have to say no, basically, to this invitation. I'll have to pass. So use it for invitations and suggestions. Okay? So we don't use this just to talk about general likes and dislikes. This one's a bit different. This one is only when someone suggests something or invites you somewhere, okay? And it's quite a casual way of declining the invitation, all right? So let me know if you have any questions about this, but I am ready to go on to the mini quiz when you are. So let me know if you're ready to go and if you have any other questions before that. All right, let's see if there's any questions coming through. Sun Young says, I've got the hang of it. Great expression, well done. Okay, guys, so I think we're going to move on to the mini quiz. It is mini quiz time. Here we go. So as usual in the mini quiz, it's multiple choice. So I hope you're ready for this. As usual, I'm going to show you a question with some options and you need to tell me which answer you think is the correct one. Write your answer in the chat, A, B or C. In the first question, the answer, you actually need to put two possibilities. So here we go. So the question is, we invited him to the music festival, but he said he's not really into blah, blah, blah. So what answers do you think are correct? So in this case, two answers. A, go to crowded places. B, crowded places. Or C, going to crowded places. So in this case, you need to tell me which two answers you think are correct. So let me know in the chat what you think. Okay, we're getting some answers in. Well done, guys. Make sure you give me two. And it looks like Toodle is the winner because the answer is, or the answers are B and C. Well done. And Toodle, you were the first one to get that right. The others, yeah, you did really well. Very good. So remember, when you say he's not into, is not really into, you can use the noun. So you can use a noun. So B, crowded places, would be a noun. Well, adjective plus noun, obviously. And C would be the ing form, so going to. A doesn't work grammatically, okay? So we can't say I'm not really into go. So we don't use the infinitive, we always use the ing form. So well done, Toodle. Well done, everyone else, for getting it as well. But Toodle, you were first, so good job. Fantastic. Okay, guys, we have another question now. Second question. In this case, it's only one answer that is correct. If you offer someone a coffee and they say they're more of a tea person, what's a good response? Oh, really? Excuse me? Oh, okay. How about a cuppa then? Or, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you want a tea then? So in this case, I want you to choose one answer that you think sounds the best in this case. Okay, we've got some answers coming in. Just one this time. That's correct. And from my calculations, it looks like Hannah was the first one to get it right. Well done, Hannah. Very good. The answer is B. Now, the first one, A, doesn't make sense because you wouldn't say excuse me if you offered someone something and they didn't want it. Doesn't make sense. And C is a little bit strange to say, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, because normally we use this phrase when somebody gives us bad news, when something bad, happens. You say, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Like, oh, my cat died yesterday. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I lost my job. I'm so sorry to hear that. If you say no to coffee, you don't need to say, I'm so sorry to hear that. So B works. Oh, okay. How about a cuppa? And a cuppa means a cup of tea. Yeah. Donghan says, sorry to hear that means there's a problem with being a tea person. Yeah, exactly. It sounds a bit strange. So B makes the most sense. Well done, Hannah. Good job. Okay, guys, we've got time. Well, we don't have time, but I'm going to give you one more question because I prepared it. Number 3. Final mini quiz question. Here we go. If a colleague invites you to go out after work, but you can't go, what's a good response? Now, in this case, it's just one answer again, okay? A, I'd love to, but I'll have to pass this time. I've got something on. Or B, oh, sorry, I can't. I'm too busy. C, I'll pass, thanks. I've got plans tonight. So which one do you think is the nicest one? Okay, we've got some answers coming in. Okay, hello, foodie. Thank you, eCommon English. I'm glad you liked it. Okay, it looks to me that Donghan might be the one who got it first. The answer is A. It is a little bit long, you're right. But it's a little bit more polite. So I'd love to. So if you say I'd love to, I would love to, it shows that you want to go, but you can't go. I'll have to pass this time. I've got something on. If you say I've got something on, it means I've already got plans, basically. B, I'm sorry I can't, I'm too busy. If you say I'm too busy, it sounds like, you're like, oh, I'm too busy for you. So it's a little bit too impolite. And if you say, I'll pass, thanks, I've got plans tonight. The second part's okay, I've got plans. But if you say, I'll pass, thanks, it just sounds a little bit too direct, too abrupt when someone invites you. So I would go with A. Well done to Donghan for getting that right, first of all. Very good, guys. That is the end of our mini quiz and actually the end of the live stream. Thank you very much for watching today. Thanks for joining in. It's been my pleasure to teach you. I will be here next week, as usual, on Tuesday at 2 p.m. UK time, same time, and with a different topic. So I hope you found this useful, and I will see you next week. Yeah, have a lovely rest of the week. Hannah says, wow, that was very useful. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad you found it useful. It was, yeah, I think it's something that's quite important to be able to say this. Thanks from Yangdan. You are very welcome. Take care, guys. Have a lovely week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.